Hey, what is up, sports bettors? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you my favorite anytime touchdown score bets for Thursday night football. So we have Jaguars versus Jets, Thursday night football. Funny enough, heading into the year, you would have thought this would have been a typical NFL gross Thursday night football game. It might be gross, but at least there are some playoff implications with this game. The Jaguars, thanks to a recent hot streak, if they win out, they're in the playoffs. The Jets, thanks to a recent cold streak, looked like a lock to make the playoffs. Now they need some help, and obviously they need to win their games as well. Regardless, going to be giving my favorite anytime touchdown score bets in this video using OddsJam, using the line shopping tool to find these anytime touchdown score bets, right? The way it works, it just pulls up odds from every sportsbook and where they price this market at. So you want to compare the markets and see where you're getting a good value. And right off the bat, this is obviously a much bigger, this is a sleeper play, a value play. I love Jaguars defense to score a touchdown at plus 750 at DraftKings. This is their defense / special teams. So obviously a special teams one would count. This one up here is just defense. So special teams would not count. So you're getting 50 cents of better juice while also getting a higher likelihood of them scoring by getting this at plus 750 at DraftKings. Now, again, this is obviously a sleeper play, a value play, not the most likely thing, but the Jets starting Zach Wilson, their left tackle, they're banged up. The Jets offense is banged up. They're starting Zach Wilson at quarterback. The Jaguars getting a pick six. They had one last week against the Cowboys. They had a couple earlier in the year. I know they had one against the Eagles. They have a pretty good special teams returner in Jamal Agnew. Plus 750, pretty good odds. And just look at the rest of the books, right? PointsBet has this all the way down at plus 375. BetMGM at plus 550. And FanDuel is giving you worse odds, well, just giving you the defense, not including special teams. So this is a fun one. Obviously, don't put a ton on this one. I would put like 10, 15, 20, 25 bucks on this one, not a ton of money. I do think it's worth a value play. In terms of actual players, I admit I had a tough time with this game because none of these teams really have a go-to player on offense, right? They don't have a bread and butter. The Jaguars like to spread the ball around. Christian Kirk was on fire to begin the year. Recently, it's been Zay Jones, who had 3 touchdowns last week. Zay Jones, not a bad play on him at plus 290, and he is my favorite player for the Jaguars, is Zay Jones to get into the end zone. The Jets defense is one of the better defenses against the pass. They are really good against number 1 receivers, which is Sauce Gardner. My guess is that Sauce is going to be Christian Kirk. It's hard to say. Maybe even Marvin Jones. But the Jaguars move their receivers around, so I don't necessarily think Sauce is going to follow someone. And look at the value here on Zay Jones. That's the most important thing. We're getting plus 290 at PointsBet. Whereas most books, we see FanDuel 20 cents lower at plus 270. We see DraftKings 30 cents lower at plus 260. And then BetMGM 50 cents lower at plus 240. And then Caesars is just absurd, plus 195. That's insane how much lower they have it at. So this plus 290 for Zay Jones is a really good value. And that's the most important thing here, right, is making sure we're placing bets with value. You obviously want to make sure that you're getting a player likely to score in some capacity, notwithstanding the dart play on the Jaguars defense. But I think this is really good value getting Zay Jones to score at plus 290. So he's my favorite player for Jacksonville. My favorite player for the Jets, and again, I have a tough time with the Jets offense because of how bad, just really bad, Zach Wilson is. He's horrible. Garrett Wilson is my play with the Jets. I would feel a lot more confident in Garrett Wilson if it was Mike White at quarterback as opposed to Zach Wilson. But I will say, at least there was some semblance of hope for Garrett Wilson last week. He had 4 receptions for 98 yards. He didn't score, but that's at least something to build off of with Zach Wilson. And the reason why I like it is that the Jaguars, have the 32nd ranked pass defense in the entire NFL. That's worst, by the way. There's only 32 teams. That's the worst. And specifically, they're 28th in the NFL against opposing teams' number 1 receiver. In this case, that would be Garrett Wilson. So I think that there is some value getting Garrett Wilson to score. Getting him at plus 220 odds at DraftKings is pretty good value. 10 cents higher than FanDuel and PointsBet. 20 cents higher than BetMGM and Caesars. So I do like Garrett Wilson to score. So he is going to be my official play for the Jets. So I have 2 official plays for you guys, 1 for each team, and then I have a fun dart throw on the Jags defense as well at plus 750, and that's going to be it. So if you guys are tailing any and all 2 or 3 of these, comment and let me know. That's all I got though. Appreciate everybody watching, and have a good one.